Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of USWL Live. I am your host, Chase Britton, and today's topics are going to be a little bit more easier than what we've previously talked about. Today, we're really going to talk about what is a veteran, right? What is a new guy? Because, everybody's saying it, everybody's talking about it. Sometimes you can go to shows and some guys have an ego, some guys don't. Well, we're gonna talk all about that today, and we're going to determine once and for all, do they even have anything to stand on? Do they have legs to stand on? Now, I'm only 25 years old. I've been wrestling pretty much all my life. I'm a second generation. When I was 2 weeks old, my dad took me to my first wrestling show. I started training at age 11 years old and had my first match when I was 13 years old. Now that I've been in it going on 11, 12 years or whatnot, everybody's looking at me like I should be this veteran persona, so to speak. As in, like, I should lead somebody. I should be able to call an entire match without mess-ups, and I should be able to give advice to all these young guys, but that's where I get kind of confused. Now, I can do all those things, and I can do it all really well because not only did I learn from other people, but I've learned from myself. I've learned from my own mistakes. I've learned from the things that I didn't do. I've learned from the things that I did do. But with me only being 25 years old, calling myself a veteran would just, I've never truly been able to do that. Because if you know me, you know that I'll do anything just to learn. In my mind, I may have been in it for 11, 12 years, but to me, I'm not done learning. Does that make me a greenhorn? Does that make me a veteran? Does that make me just in between? Does it make me yellow, so to speak? Well, if you was to ask me about how I look at everything, to me, in my own personal situation, the way I look at things is it's like this. I don't truly think there is a veteran. If you can step in a ring with somebody and you can learn, then obviously you're not a veteran, because a true veteran has seen it all. They've been it all, and they know it all. That's what I vision in my head. If you step in the ring with me and I show you something, who's the veteran? To me, I don't think there's a ring veteran. I think everybody learns from somebody, and truly and honestly, I think that one guy helps the other one up. I don't think that one guy's better than the other. Now, once again, in everything else, not everything I say is going to be spot on with everybody else. I've went my entire career with haters, and honey, it ain't going to hurt me to have one more. Hop in line, sister. But that's the way I feel on the whole veteran status. Now, do they have legs to stand on? When should you be a veteran? When should you not be a ring veteran? Now, say that I'm in a ring and you called a perfect spot, something easy, just something, that I should have got. Headlock, shoot off, shoulder tackle, drop down, leapfrog, hip toss, arm drag, powder out. And the first thing I screwed up was the headlock. What would you do? Now, when I was actually learning stuff like this, I would do stuff like that. Instead of going to the left, I went to the right. Instead of grabbing the left arm, I grabbed the right. And the way that I learned may not be what other people are doing now. When I first got into it, I was lucky. There wasn't too many people out there wanting to hurt everybody. There was a time when I was working a guy named Dale Henderson as a Rebel, as he was going by the time. I was so young. I was only 14, maybe 15 years old, and he was trying to, play a little mind trick on me. I'm going to give you the Pepsi plunge from the top rope. Boy, I tripped out. I'm telling you right now, if you can look through my soul and see the scaredness, you would have seen it. I was legit scared. But going into it, everything passed there because I was scared. I messed up. I skipped a beat. I messed this up. I messed that up. But he never took it upon himself to lay a hand on me. He guided me through it. And then his finish maneuver, at the time I was real big about the finishers. But you know what? He hit it 4 times on me just so I would know what's going on. Now, would people do that now? No, they wouldn't. But when we went in the back, instead of hitting me or telling me that I sucked or something like that, he showed me what I did wrong. And every time I step in the ring with Dale, something goes wrong. I don't understand what it is, but I always had that same mentality about it. It's just one of those things where I looked up to him since I was 3 years old. Sorry, Dale, don't mean to make you feel old, but it's the truth. I'm scared to mess up with people like that. That's how I know that I'm not a veteran. And I won't ever call myself a veteran because there's still people out there that do this a hell of a lot better than I do this. And they're going like they've just started. Now, take a little bit forward to my experience in Canada. There was a particular night that a man named TLC, he came on the tour at the time. I was getting tired, I was getting flustered, and I was doing this, I was doing that. And there was just a thing on the tour where I just thought this man had a huge ego. And I didn't have enough balls at the time to even tell him, like, hey, look, man, I've been here this many days. I don't know you. Why are you talking to me that way? Why are you talking down to me? I didn't know who he was. Now, granted, if I was a little bit in the right mindset, I should have respected this guy because I didn't know who he was. But after I did, I hated the fact that I didn't try to learn from him. So what happened was we had a match. I botched the whole thing. And I will never forget it. After it was 1, 2, and I heard a "you suck" 3. I'll never forget that. 1, 2, "you suck" 3. He was mad. But when we went into the back, he didn't hit me in the face. He didn't try to shoot on me. No, he cooled off a little bit. And that entire next day, we were supposed to work again. And you know what, guys? That taught me something. When I went in the back, he didn't try to start a fight. No, he told me I was stupid. He told me I should have listened. But you know what? He did it in the correct way. He sat me down. He said, look, this is what you did wrong. This is what we need to do tomorrow night. And I went out there, and that next day, I earned a handshake. And to this day, that was my best moment on the entire CWE tour. Was shaking TLC's hand and earning that little bit of respect that night. I may not have earned much, but I earned a little bit to be proud of myself. Guys, what I'm trying to get at is this. You don't always have to beat somebody up to get your point across. You can just as easily calm down, control the match. And when you get in the back, you have a heart-to-heart talk with him. You ain't got to beat up on one another. That's not what being a veteran is. Being a veteran is leading the future. The young guys is the future. Take some time. Pull these young guys aside. Tell them how you feel. Tell them what's going to make them feel better. Do better. Because when you're retired, this guy is carrying on the same sport that you fought for 11, 12, 15 years. If you don't teach him now, who will? That's just how it is, man. That's where wrestling's getting to. Everybody's scared to pass down the torch. That's something that Chase Stevens told me about 3 years ago. He said, man, all the real veterans, the reason why there's no veterans today is because they're afraid to pass down the damn torch. He's never been more right. But just talk to people. Drop your fist for once. Ain't nobody got to act hard anymore. Those days are over. People want to learn. People want to learn from people they respect. If they can't respect you because you don't respect them, they're never going to ask and they're never going to learn. Guys, this has been another exciting episode of USWL Live. My name is Chase Britton. I am your host, and we'll be back here tomorrow night.